figures. The Chancellor with his budget statement.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, today's budget will continue to help people through this global recession and prepare Britain for the opportunities of the future. Firstly, there will be help now to get people back into work quickly and to support businesses and homeowners facing problems. And secondly, there will be measures to support investment in growth and green industries of the future whilst the recovery takes hold and ensure that our public finances are sustainable. We will protect investment in schools and hospitals and other key public services, and we will work to rebuild our financial services. And taken together, this budget will build on the strengths of the British economy and its people, speed the recovery, providing jobs and spreading prosperity. And in all of these decisions, we've been guided by our core values of fairness and opportunity and our determination to invest and grow our way out of recession. Mr. Deputy Speaker, today's budget will take Britain through the most serious global economic turmoil for over 60 years. The impact is being felt in every continent, every country, every community. When the world economy was plunged into a deep crisis in the 1930s, the response, both nationally and internationally, was too little and it was too late. And that failure to act turned a serious downturn into a prolonged depression. We will not repeat those mistakes again. This time, we and other countries have worked to avoid them. Across the globe, we have seen decisive action by national governments and internationally too. And this action, taken promptly and decisively, gives us good grounds for confidence. Mr. Deputy Speaker, today's budget builds on the substantial help for people and businesses that I announced in the pre-budget report last November. It builds on the steps we have taken to recapitalise and restore confidence in our financial institutions. And it builds on the outcome of the G20 summit in London this month, when the world's leading economies came together to agree an unprecedented coordinated action to speed global recovery. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the action already taken here and internationally, and the measures that I will announce today, mean that I expect the economy to start growing again towards the end of this year. And I'm also confident that as the global economy recovers to double in size over the next 20 years, Britain can and will be a world leader, and this budget will help make sure that we seize this opportunity. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as I told the House in November, we and other countries have been battling against a succession of shocks which have hit the world economy. At the end of 2007, problems in the international mortgage markets began to put a damaging squeeze on credit. In early 2008, we also saw dramatic volatility in many commodities prices, adding to uncertainty and putting pressure on growth. And last autumn, the dramatic failure of one of the top investment banks in America, Lehman Brothers, shattered an already fragile confidence and brought the international financial system to its knees. Since then, an extraordinary international financial crisis has fed into the wider economy, causing a steep and widespread world recession. And a crisis that started in the developed economies has spread to emerging and developing countries too. Industrial production has fallen, unemployment is rising by 5 million in the United States alone, and in the last few months, world trade fell. And whilst our exports are down 14%, exports in Germany are down 21%, in China 26%, and in Japan 45%. So for the first time since the Second World War, the world economy is expected to contract this year. In the last few months, we have seen considerable economic uncertainty, and that has fully justified the action that we and other countries have taken to support businesses and to support people. Since the autumn, we have put the banks on a stronger footing, cleaning up their balance sheets and helping boost bank lending. And as a result, banks will be able to lend billions of pounds more this year and next to home buyers and to businesses. Because getting credit flowing again is the essential precondition to economic recovery. Now, in the pre-budget report, I announced a range of measures to help the country through the recession, putting £20 billion back into the economy. And that help is coming through now, from an income tax cut and a VAT reduction which will continue until December. There is increased support for pensioners, as well as investment in vital public services and accelerated capital projects, which is protecting thousands of jobs in this country. And because of the reforms we have made to the welfare system since 1997, this comes on top of extra help when families need it most. I fully understand the anxiety behind calls to support those whose wages have fallen. But this is exactly the support that our flexible system can and is already offering. As shorter working weeks or irregular patterns reduce wages, those receiving tax credits can see an automatic increase to compensate for the loss of income. In March alone, for example, 355,000 families were receiving on average £35 a week more to support them through tax credits. All the more reason why we need to keep tax credits and not scrap them. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this demonstrates how our welfare system automatically helps people when they need it most. Fiscal support has been complemented too with sharp reductions in interest rates by central banks right across the world. The Bank of England interest rate is now down to 0.5%, the lowest it's ever been. And that has reduced the cost of mortgages and loans. The average savings since October for the 4.5 million families with tracker mortgages is over £230 a month. And we've now given the Bank of England new means to support the flow of credit and put money into the economy. Inflation has come down, which means people's incomes will go further. Mr. Deputy Speaker, taken together, the total support we have provided to the United Kingdom economy is expected to protect up to 500,000 jobs. And other governments across the world have been doing the same. The total amount of fiscal support across the G20